anything like that. No good. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff like sugar. I've recently cut sugar out of my life and replaced it with cocaine, and I've never felt better.
Uh-oh.
I'm Bobby Tamburo, and here's your host, the star of the program, Mr. Eastside Dave McDonald, everybody.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, as you gave a beautiful introduction. Roy Harder, not here with us today because he's been called on a very secret mission, methadone clinic, and that's fine. No one's judging Roy Harder and his heroin addiction. Did I say that last part out loud? But, you know, he's going to be gone for 6 or 7 days in some fucking retreat in California, but he'll be back next Monday feeling good, feeling Jones-free, as I like to say. Davey Mac Sports Program, a heroin-free show. I want that to be on the goddamn record, okay?
I got to go.
Listen, if you got to go join Roy in California, and the two of you heroin people, it's not dry out. That's for alcoholics. What do you say for heroin people when they got to get off the shit? What do you say?
I think you just say sober up.
Sober up.
Yeah.
Sober up. So Roy will be back with us next week. He did say, he said, you know what? Send me the link in case I can do a surprise pop-in. I am giving Roy's a surprise pop-in. The odds are, let's see, 99.9999999% he won't be with us, but you never know. That's the beauty of the show, but it's okay. We got a lot of shit to do. We have a lot of shit to discuss, and the reason why is because the New York Football Giants now, on top of the fucking Yankees, goddamn ripping my fucking heart out and stomping all over it like it's a piece of shit, like it's dog shit you find on the bottom of your shoe. That's the way my New York teams have treated my heart, ladies and gentlemen, because the fucking Giants are done. They lose another game, 2-8. Yesterday, though, they lose to the fucking Carolina Panthers, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Really, for a while, they've been called the worst team in the NFL. Not anymore, Jack. The fucking Panthers have a better record than the goddamn Giants now, because in fucking Munich, Germany, with all these fucking pretzel-eating, beer-drinking, goddamn fucking Nazis all going, holy snips and snots and lots and gold, and the sunshot's gonna die, and my snats and fucking liquor, all the blitz and rock-a-da-da-da. A lot of singing, even though they were playing American music in the fucking Munich, Germany yesterday at the goddamn Giants-Panthers game. Like they would play Roy. He's
going to be so pissed he missed the German episode.
Yeah, that's true. Neil Diamond, they played with the Sweet Carolina. And I swear to God, you could just hear, Sweet Carolinians, hells. Oops. I mean, we can't get the hand in. If we just go like this, no one knows what gesture I'm doing off screen. Because quite frankly, peace, yo. That's what I was doing. That's what I see.
The old John Lennon.
So it's over. You know, when the Jets had a shitty loss, they fucking cleaned house. They got rid of Robert Saleh. They got rid of a whole bunch of people. I'm sorry. You know, Brian Dable, he's gotten fucking mixed up in this shit, but he's got to go too. The bottom line is a regime change is now absolutely necessary. Joe Shane, the Giants general manager, piggybacked Dave Gettleman's ineptitude as Giants GM for 7 or 8 fucking disastrous, nightmarish years. And he's followed that up with, year one, the Giants made the playoffs, even got a playoff victory. But it's been goddamn terrible ever since. And let's be honest, he made two of the most fateful decisions we've seen in the last 10 years with the Giants, letting their best football player go, Saquon Barkley, who's tearing it up in Philly, and re-signing fucking Daniel Jones to a $160 million contract. The worst fucking deal the New York Football Giants have ever done. Period. You won't find a worse contract and a worse deal, a worse decision than $160 million for this glorified backup. I'm going to tell you when it all went wrong. Right now. I want you to listen to me, Giants fans. Years ago, we saw the zenith of Daniel Jones, the absolute best of the best he'll ever be, followed by the worst of Daniel Jones and the most ominous sign you can possibly have. 2 years ago, the Giants surprised the entire football world, even their own fan base, by making the playoffs. Year one of Brian Daboll, Joe Shane. Year 4 of Daniel Jones, right? They make the playoffs. They play the Vikings in the first round, in the wild card round. They actually win the game, so they win on the road. That is the zenith of Daniel Jones. The zenith of Daniel Jones. The problem is Joe Shane gave that fucking idiot Doonesbury character. And again, anyone with that long and narrow of a nose, to me, he always looks like a Doonesbury person, and Doonesbury characters are not supposed to be trusted. I'm sorry. Give me Garfield. Okay, give me Far Side. I know a lot of people don't like it. I'll take Family Circus over Doonesbury. I mean,
really?
Shit. Beetle Bailey, I'll take anybody over fucking Doonesbury. I hate Doonesbury. Half the time, I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't understand the jokes. I mean, Far Side, I sometimes don't understand the jokes. But like an elephant, as a chef, in a restaurant feeding other elephants, and then there's some caption. Like, that's fucking hysterical. I don't even need to understand the goddamn Far Side. Animals doing shit, acting like humans. I can just look at the picture.
Absolutely.
Fucking Doonesbury, they start talking about the economy and all this other shit. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's what Daniel Jones looks like. Long, thin, narrow-nosed Doonesbury character. Not to be trusted. So, in the Vikings game 2 years ago in the playoffs, you got the absolute best that Daniel Jones is possibly capable of. Here's where the Giants fucked up. What happened the very next week? What happened in the divisional round of the fucking playoffs? The Giants got destroyed by the Eagles, and Daniel Jones got destroyed by the Eagles, and Daniel Jones played like shit. Now, the guy, give him the credit. The fucking Viking to win on the road in the playoffs, great accomplishment. Wonderful. But to follow that shit up by getting fucking annihilated by a divisional opponent is a horrible thing and should have been a warning sign. And right then and there, Joe Shane should have said, Saquon's our best guy. We got to get him back. As for Daniel, let's franchise his ass or let's do something reasonable. Sure, Daniel, you can come back 1 year, $30 million. I mean, it's $30 million. But do something reasonable. Not $160 fucking million based on one fucking game in Minnesota.
It'd be like
if the very next game in Philly, he showed you who he is, not the man. A guy who gets crushed by the man. And the week before, Saquon Barkley had to play lights out for the Giants to beat the Vikings. It's always been about Saquon. He's always been the fucking thing that made the offense work. I'm trying to stay calm.
It'd be like if the Broncos gave Tebow $120 million because he beat the Steelers, and then the next week he got his clock cleaned by the Patriots. It's the same level of he won one game that mattered.
I had Daniel Jones apologists on my timeline going, well, if you put Daniel Jones's stats next to Trevor Lawrence's stats in Jacksonville. Daniel Jones is kind of like the same guy. Go, Trevor Lawrence sucks too.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is fucking Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Trevor Lawrence is fucking terrible as well. So I don't give a shit about that guy goddamn comparison. You're comparing shit to shit.
I know my calculus grade's an F, but if you compare it to the kid with Down syndrome, I'm doing pretty well.
They're not even comparing it to fucking Trevor Lawrence. I fucking hate that long-haired douchebag too. Thank God he's not the Giants quarterback. But that's Jacksonville's problem. Daniel Jones hit his absolute mountaintop. He got to his own personal NFL mountaintop with that victory in Minnesota, and it was never going to get better. And in the 2 years since, okay, the Giants have been fucking terrible. Yesterday against the Panthers, it's not just his stats. This is what I've been saying. And folks, I told you in August, me and Bobo went to the fucking Giants training camp and practice sessions. I told you in August, did I not? Daniel Jones missed every single throw over 30 yards. He would underthrow every pass. And then when finally Dable probably said, hey, motherfucker, you're underthrowing every goddamn ball. Put a little juice in it. Then he would overthrow every pass by 5-10 yards. The guy wouldn't have any goddamn fucking hope of catching it. But nothing in between. Underthrow, overthrow. Nothing in between. But that's not all. Yesterday, Daniel Jones now is refusing to throw the ball down the field to wide open Malik Neighbors or Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, the NFL, look, I'm not saying I'm goddamn Joe Montana or fucking Peyton Manning, but I understand a progression, right? You go through your progression. You go, you fucking get that football. You look to your number one. If he ain't open, you look to your number two. He ain't open, then maybe you're looking to dump it to your running back or this or that shit. Well, Malik Neighbors is number one. Wan'Dale Robinson is number two. If Malik Neighbors is open 35 fucking yards down the field, or if Wan'Dale Robinson is open 35 down the field, you throw them the football. He's refusing now to throw the ball down the field, probably because his confidence is gone because he knows he's shit. That's it. When you can't do that, gotta go. Gotta go. There ain't no more fucking Daniel Jones now. And I was actually watching the game with my son yesterday. And I says to him, you know, Stanley, one could make an argument that Daniel Jones is legitimately the worst starting quarterback in NFL history. And I'm going to tell you why, Robert.
Please.
How many fucking quarterbacks are allowed to have 6 seasons of ineptitude? Fucking, they benched Bryce Young, the Panthers quarterback this year, who only played one. He was a rookie last year. And after fucking, what was it, 3 or 4 games this year, they benched him. When you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, when you suck week in and week out, you get benched. Daniel Jones has been allowed to suck for 6 seasons. 6. Just by that alone, I could fucking make an argument that Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in NFL history. No quarterback was paid more than Daniel Jones. Again, $40 million a season, $160 million. No one's paid more and done less, been as inept as Daniel Jones for as long of a period of time. Most quarterbacks are getting fucking anywhere else. Daniel Jones would have been benched after the end of year 2. Or in year 3, if he played like Daniel Jones and he fucking sucked, he's coming out. We had a guy, this guy, he's fucking fumbled a zillion times. He threw more interceptions yesterday every time the Giants were moving the ball. He's not throwing to wide open receivers down the field because he can't throw the ball deep. No. He can fucking throw your little screens and your fucking bullshit passes, your 5-yard slants. By the way, there was a play for where Malik Neighbors, again, their number one receiver, was open for a first down on like a 10-yard slant. Daniel didn't go to him. How is he? He's your first option, Daniel. If he's open on a slant, you give that motherfucker the ball. He can take it 70 yards to the house. It's absurd. Joe Shane did this, the general manager. He let Saquon walk. He believed in Daniel Jones. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're out. So long. John Mara, do not give Joe Shane an opportunity to come back next year. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to get a new general manager, and they have to, then how many times? The new GM usually wants the new coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dable's going to probably have to go. And I actually feel a little bit for Dable. He was coach of the year 2 years. But I'm sorry, Brian, you weren't able to quarterback whisperer this guy. You know, everyone calls Dable the quarterback whisperer. Not with Daniel Jones. He is a scared chicken.
Also,
he plays like a chicken.
At what point do you just give up on the season? Like, you are the head coach. They have to tank
now. We got to get a number one. I want Shooter Sanders. People want that kid from Miami. I want Shooter Sanders from Colorado. That's who I want.
That would be a great choice. I just meant, like, he hasn't done anything to adapt the playbook for a quarterback who's scared to throw the ball over 30 yards. Like, you saw Peyton Manning when he was playing with the Broncos and didn't have the arm. They developed an entire offense of short out routes to keep him, and they have done nothing for him. But I will ask, it was played in Germany. Yes. His first name is Daniel. Is it perhaps he's a member of the tribe and that's why he was so scared to be playing in Germany?
Daniel can be any kind of name.
I'm just speculating.
Okay. I'm okay. No, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, just because you're sort of filling it for Roy doesn't mean we have to have Aryan talk 24/7. But the point is, Shane made these goddamn decisions. I mean, look, Brian Burns, been a good player for the Giants. But they could have gotten Saquon Barkley back if they just give him $14 million, $13 or $14 million a year for 3 years. Okay, the Eagles got Saquon Barkley for $12.5 million per season for 3 years. Okay? Like, they had every opportunity. They give Brian Burns $30 million a season. Now, I get that he's a good player, and he is, but he's not. This isn't Lawrence Taylor. It's just like, oh, shit. We let Saquon walk, so let's throw so much fucking money at some guy and sort of distract all the Giants. Why are you making $30 million? $30 million? You could have gotten 3 Saquons for that much money. What the fuck are you doing? It reminds me of when the Yankees let, I think it was Robinson Cano go, and Yankee fans were pissed off. So fucking stupid-ass Brian Cashman, and they remind me of the same person at this point. Yankee general manager Brian Cashman and Giants general manager Joe Shane. And Cashman goes out because everyone was on his ass, and he goes out and gets fucking Jacoby Ellsbury. He gives him like $180 million. And Ellsbury was fucking terrible or just stopped playing for the team. He got hurt. And it was like, yeah, I'm just going to not play anymore. And the Yankees were still paying all that fucking money. Reminds me of the same thing. It's like it was a panic move. They realized they fucked up with Saquon. Joe Shane made his bed with Daniel Jones. Goddamn, his fucking son said it. His son said it on Hard Knocks. Draft Jaden Daniels, Dad. You only get this job once. Wow. What a wise young man. Now, his fucking 13-year-old son should have been the general manager because he was begging Daddy to fucking move up and draft the quarterback from Washington. And look at the year he's having, and look at fucking Daniel Jones. It's embarrassing. I watched the NFL Network's post-game fucking coverage, and you got Steve Mariucci and Maurice Jones-Drew. And both of them, Steve Mariucci goes, I don't know what's going on with Daniel Jones. He's just totally out of it. He's missing wide open people, like wide open people. Like, what? Look at the Wan'Dale Robinson. It's all over Twitter. On that one play, A quarterback could have hit Malik Neighbors too. But then Wan'Dale Robinson was even more open. I mean, completely wide open. And Steve Mariucci goes, Daniel Jones is just totally out of it. And then Maurice Jones-Drew goes, I think there's something wrong with his eyesight, his vision. Like, is he not seeing things well? Because I've never seen anyone miss so many fucking open wide receivers down the field. Guys who are not being covered. He won't throw the ball to. Oh. And I have heard, there's my heart has pain and strain in it, Robin.
Why?
There's strain in my heart. The stress of the Giants, it's put me over the top.
I think it's time to just, like you said, clean house completely. The Panthers have a bit of a reputation for being the team that does that now, right?
Yeah.
They beat the Jets.
Yep.
They fire their coach.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Giants do the same thing. For the first time in your life, look at the New York Jets and go, you know what? We admire what they did to their fucking team, how they blew up their goddamn team after they lost to the Panthers. You got to do the same thing. And John Mara is so fucking weak. Hey, John, Joe Shane made you look like a cuck, motherfucker. You on Hard Knocks said you better, if Saquon goes to the Eagles, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping at night. And Shane let him go to the Eagles. Now Saquon's an MVP candidate and the Giants fucking suck. How does that make you look, John? Like a spineless, fucking out-of-touch owner schmuck. That's what, Johnny.
I would have preferred them to pay Saquon and then teach him how to play quarterback because I think he'd be a better quarterback than Daniel Jones at this point.
I actually said the same thing to Stan. I go, we could have brought Saquon back and just done the Wildcat.
At least then you got a chance.
He'd be better. The Wildcat with Saquon as quarterback would be a better offense than what we're seeing right now. So I said this weeks ago. I was the first person in the media to say this, and I saw other Giants fans after Sunday's loss to the Panthers also say this. I want to, yet again repeat this because I was first throughout all of national media. Giants need to get Bill Belichick. I know you're thinking, come on, he's not. Yes, he is. He's coaching next year, folks. Now, he's going to be fucking maybe try to, get wined and dined by Jerry Jones and brought to Dallas. But look, Billy Bell, baby. 2 Super Bowls as Giants defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells. One of the greatest coordinators of all time. And it all started with the New York Football Giants, 2-time Super Bowl champion, leading the defense, leading the Lawrence Taylors and the Harry Carsons and the Carl Banks. Billy Bell, daddy. Bill Belichick. As far as general manager goes, there was a time where they actually were talking about Louis Riddick before they hired Joe Shane. Fine. Bring in Louis Riddick as general manager. Say, Louis, you're the GM. You concentrate on good drafts and trades. Billy Bell, you're the coach. Give Louis your input on guys you like. Let him do his job, and then you coach the shit out of this fucking football team, daddy. And that's what we got to do. A new GM and Billy Bell. Bring back Belichick to the Giants. It's as simple as that. I don't want to see any more unproven guys. I don't want to see any more coordinators. I don't want to see any more college coaches. I don't want to see no bullshit. Golly.
Maybe you hire Joe Shane's son as general manager. He seems to know what he's doing better than Joe.
There should be a rule where, and because the Giants right now definitely now need to be in tank mode. They're not winning shit. Obviously, they're 2-8. There should be a rule where if you tank, if you want to tank, you declare that you're tanking, and then the general manager has to play quarterback. So in other words, Joe Shane should have to be the QB. The Giants declare themselves in tank mode, and that means the general manager has to play quarterback, and maybe the head coach has to play linebacker. Dable's got to get out there on defense, and Joe Shane's got to be the QB. All right, that's got to be a new NFL rule. And it's mainly because I want to see Joe Shane get both of his legs broken by some fucking 300-pound defensive lineman somewhere. All right, that's what I want to see. Because Joe Shane he was supposed to be the fucking guy who's going to clean this up from Gettleman. He's made this worse. Worse.
Phil Dave Masuki says Shane out, Dabble out, Jones out, Belichick in, Vrabel in, Cutlets in.
And you're Italian. When there's two C's, it's Masucci. Masucci. Not key. Not two C's is
Apologies, Dave. When my grandfather...
I'm just so much more fucking cultured than you. And then Joe Shane.
When my grandfather spent 2 weeks in the bow of a boat so he could come to America, he made sure we spoke English, not Italian. But I get it. Your culture's good too, Dave.
Listen, two C's is But you saw Steve Mary. Steve, speaking of two C's, now you remind me of Steve Mariucci. And he's like, he goes, is something wrong with Daniel Jones? He literally was confounded, befuddled, perplexed at how someone can't see, how a professional quarterback in the NFL can't see someone standing all by themselves with no one around them. 30 yards down the field. Hi, here I am, Danny, with plenty of time, with protection from the offensive line. That needs to be said. It wasn't like Daniel Jones was getting sacked. He's holding the fucking ball. There's Wan'Dale Robinson. Hi. And just nothing. Nothing. All he can do is dump passes off now. That tells me the confidence is gone. And Mariucci couldn't believe it. He goes, I don't know what's wrong with the guy. I really don't. I'm not sure I've seen this before, but something's wrong with the guy. Yes, this is what it is, Steve. He's a shitty quarterback from Duke. I've been saying it my entire life. You got to get the fucking quarterbacks from the SEC or the Big Ten. Those are the only two goddamn fucking conferences that mean anything. You get those two. I don't give a shit whether he's from Ohio State or Michigan or fucking Oregon at this point since they're in the Big Ten or Alabama or LSU in the SEC. I don't care. But we're not getting Duke quarterbacks. What kind of fucking pedigree does Duke have? Oh, they got a great fucking pedigree for Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, and the rest of the basketball program. Yeah, they had the NBA. Their fucking pedigree's off the charts. For the NFL, what are we doing? Oh.
When I was a freshman, we had to run 3 miles in 30 minutes to be able to try out for basketball. And I remember somebody being like, you're smart. You better figure out a way to get around that track faster. You're not going to make the team. You better figure out how to throw the football a little better, Daniel Jones, or you're going to be done.
Yeah.
Use that Duke education.
How to get around that track faster. Yeah, thank you. You can't do anything with this guy. I mean, this guy is now going to be he'll have a nice 10 years left, maybe 8 years in the NFL as a backup quarterback. And he'll be one of the better backup quarterbacks. But don't make him a starter. Don't fall in love with him. Whatever team gets Daniel Jones next year, folks. And if your quarterback goes down with an injury and Daniel Jones goes in there and has a good game. You know who he is? Do you remember Rob Johnson?
Yes, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
2000s Buffalo Bills quarterback Rob Johnson, who I forget who it was. I don't think it was Bledsoe at that point. Because Bledsoe was Patriots. Then he did, it might have been. He did Patriots, Bills, Cowboys, or Patriots, Cowboys, Bills. Anyway, the point is someone goes down, right? Rob Johnson goes in there. He has a good game or two. And because he's a blonde guy wearing a headband and just looked like, generic American quarterback. And because he had that sort of look to him with the blonde hair and the fucking bullshit, the fucking Bills organization thought, oh my God, we got our next goddamn fucking Montana over here. And then, the Bills play the fucking the Titans, Music City Miracle happens in the playoffs, and Rob Johnson gets eliminated, and then the next year he fucking sucked, and everyone realized, oh, he was just like a 1 or 2 game wonder, and we completely overreacted and thought Rob Johnson is going to be the fucking Buffalo Bills franchise quarterback when he was nothing but an okay QB, okay backup who can come in and manage the game. And if your team is good, maybe he can squeak out a victory or two. But he ain't a starter. The more starts those guys get, the worse they are. And that's who Daniel Jones is, folks.
He replaced Doug Flutie, by the way. That's who they started him
right.
over.
Doug Flutie.
All
4'6" of Doug Flutie. The man who Jim McMahon on the Bears called, quote, don't get mad at me, but McMahon called him, quote, the midget. Doug Flutie.
Rob Johnson had a nickname, too. It was called Robo-Sack because he got sacked so many times that became his nickname.
He fucking sucked. They totally overreacted. We used to see this with goddamn Brady's backups. I mean, to a certain extent, Jimmy Garoppolo is one of those guys. Like, fucking Brady goes out for a couple games. A Patriots backup gets in there. He wins, and people are like, oh, my God, that's the guy that's got to lead my organization. It's because the fucking guy's being coached by Bill Belichick in the fucking Patriots program, and you go in and manage the game, you can get a fucking 24-21 win. It doesn't mean that quarterback's all of a sudden going to be an all-pro. Goodness gracious.
If, like you said, Jerry Jones is able to woo Belichick and you guys aren't able to get him, who would you go with next? I know you want an established. There are a couple of names out there. Would you go like a Jeff Fisher type or a Rex Ryan?
Jeff Fisher's been out. I mean, Jeff Fisher's last thing was fucking doing XFL or one of those fucking leagues. No, Jeff Fisher was fine 20 years ago, but no. Look, if we don't get Billy Bell, we got to think long and hard about who's out there. I don't know if he's too old, but he's on CBS, so he's current with the game. Bill Cowher. I'm looking for a fucking Hall of Famer. So Bill Cowher had expressed interest in the Giants job after Coughlin. Like when it was, it looked like Coughlin's career was coming to an end with the G-Men. Bill Cowher had expressed interest, but the Giants wanted to go, think about the fucking guys, Ben McAdoo, fucking Pat Shurmur, Joe Judge, now Brian Dable. There's a good chance we should have just never let fucking Tom Coughlin go. He's like still working for a team as a special consultant. We should have probably just kept old Tommy around. I don't know if Cowher's too old, but that's the point. Can you fucking throw $1 zillion at Mike Tomlin? The Giants and Steelers organizations have been closed for 40 years because they're both Catholics. Irish Catholics run those organizations, and they've been buddies forever. Can you beg the Steelers? Can you help us out? But honestly, it's not going to add. Not with the way Steelers are playing right now.
You're going to end up getting Chip Kelly from Ohio State.
I don't want any gimmicks. I don't want any fucking assholes. I need a goddamn Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famer. Okay?
Oh, maybe they do the reverse LeBron where they draft Shedeur Saunders, and the only way he joins is if they hire his dad as head coach.
It's embarrassing. So, looking at the other shit, the Jets, they got crushed by the Cardinals 31-6. Bye-bye. Now, I said last week the Jets were totally done, but come on now. It's over.
At least they're tanking right.
I'm just going to say this, Jets fans.
What do you say?
I'm going to say this. You know who you remind me of, Jets fans? Mets fans. Because you're the same people. Most of you are the same people. Again, Yankees, Giants, Jets, Mets. That's the way God intended it. You shouldn't be a crossover like a crackhead Pitsy doing Mets over here and Giants over here. What the shit is that? That's some inbred fucking cousins shit. Yankees, Giants, Mets, Jets. So anyway, The
And if
fucking
you had
Jets.
basketball, you got the Nets on that crew too, whereas the other teams root for the
That's
Knicks.
gotten dicey because the Nets are all over the place. But here's the deal. Aaron Rodgers, when he fucking got onto the team, what did he call the stadium? Jet Life Stadium instead of MetLife. He was like, from now on, call this place Jet Life Stadium. No, I don't think I will, Aaron. I think there's a better chance of calling it Ayahuasca fucking Memorial Stadium rather than Jet Life Stadium because you're playing like an old drug addict. No mobility whatsoever. Put a fork in Aaron Rodgers. He is done. He is a statue. That team is an embarrassment. Oh, it's great to be a Giants and Jets fan today on Monday, huh? What two embarrassing, fucking awful organizations. And there is no hope for either of us for quite some time. We need new quarterbacks. We need new coaches. We need new general managers. The Jets GM, Joe Douglas, needs to be fired, just like Joe Shane needs to be fired. It's embarrassing.
Maybe they could just trade everybody. Like, you guys get Rodgers as a quarterback. They get Daniel Jones for the rest of the season, switch them all out.
I mean, I'll do it just for science purposes, but I'd rather do that this year just to see what that would look like.
I think that would be fun. But what's crazy is Rodgers isn't playing well. But you know who is the washed-up quarterback in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson's playing like old Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson's been fantastic as the Steelers beat the Commanders 28-27. And Russell Wilson's shocking everyone right now because he has played well. Threw a gorgeous ball yesterday, a deep ball, a beautiful pass that Daniel Jones could never accomplish in 1 billion years of training. And Russell Wilson's making the throws. Steelers look fucking great. And that Mike Tomlin is unfucking believable. The guy just is, he wins every goddamn year. It's insane.
What's even crazier is he won the first couple of games without Russell. Like, it doesn't matter who's in that quarterback position. He's that good of a coach.
I mean, they were 4-2 with Justin Fields. Now the Eagles destroy the Cowboys 34-6. So they're done. Bye-bye, Mike McCarthy. And no, I don't want any piece of that guy on the Giants. He's getting fired, yes. And he won a Super Bowl, yes. No, but I don't want Mike McCarthy. No. He is an underperformer. He's got the ring. Congrats. He's had almost 20 years of elite talent between the Packers and Cowboys and has done jack and shit. He's won the one ring. Guy should have 3 championships by now. No McCarthy. No.
He's the James Franklin of the NFL. Doesn't win any big games.
Chiefs remain undefeated, 16-14, defeating the Broncos and they do it on a blocked field goal, a 35-yard field goal that Denver had at the end of the game to win it, and the Chiefs blocked the fucking field goal. They now are 9-0, the last undefeated team in the NFL. Robert, what will the Chiefs' regular season record be at the end of the day?
15-2.
So they will not go 17-0.
I don't think they're going to play for it. I think Andy Reid's too smart of a coach for that. He realizes then it becomes about the undefeated season, not about winning the Super Bowl. He's going to rest his stars even if it pisses off the fan base.
I'll tell you what, though. They've accomplished so much. You know what puts Mahomes over Brady? Maybe if they both have the same amount of rings or close to it, would be an undefeated season that Mahomes got that Brady could not finish when the New England Patriots lost to my beloved New York Football Giants in the Super Bowl, dropping to 18-1. The last time the Giants had any sort of optimism and positivity, that would be the one thing. Because if you think about it, not only does Mahomes have to get to 7 Super Bowls to be talked about with Brady, he's got to get to 8. Because when in the one time that Mahomes and Brady actually met up in the Super Bowl, Brady won. Yeah. So even if they're at 7-7, Brady goes, I beat him head to head. So you got to get, that's a lot of fuck. So we're saying that Patrick Mahomes, if he wants to be the GOAT, really does have to get to 8 or He gets to 7, but he has himself an undefeated season. Now he gets that undefeated season, and he's at 7. Now we're talking.
The narrative in that perfect season this Patriots blew was how Eli wasn't the one they expected to be the dagger in their back. Who would be the, half a tard in the NFL right now that you think would take down this Einstein-level team?
I mean, it would have to be someone who's going to make the playoffs from the NFC. Look, there's only one team that's going to beat the Chiefs. That would be the Detroit Lions.
You think so?
I mean, Goff, is he kind of similar to Eli? Maybe. Yesterday, Goff threw 5 interceptions.
That's Eli-esque.
And this comes immediately after I gave my Mount Rushmore of MVP candidates. And to refresh your memory, I had Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Jared Goff. That's my Mount Rushmore of MVP candidates. And as soon as I fucking say that, Goff throws 5 interceptions. But the Lions still win. They still beat the Houston Texans, which are a really good football team. 26-23. Holy shit. I mean, the Lions win that game where their quarterback throws 5 interceptions. Oh, forget it. Forget it. How can anyone say the Lions are at the very least not the best team in the NFC?
I couldn't agree more.
I mean,
think
my God, that team is scary. If you can overcome 5 interceptions, 5 interceptions. If you can overcome that and win the football game, yeah, you can do anything. You can do, and that's going to be the worst game that Jared Goff has all year. Holy shit.
And they let a quarterback throw 5 interceptions and didn't pull them. How much confidence do you have in both your team and that quarterback?
Until that game, he had played like an MVP candidate. I guess the Davey Mac jinx is fucking working overtime.
Between you and I think it's going to be the Steelers. I think Russ is going to have his last hurrah, and he's going to take him out. That
would be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship battling the Chiefs. I think that'd be fun. The Bears lose to the New England Patriots 19-3. After the Bears got up 4-2, they very quickly believed their own hype, and the wheels have fallen off. And now everyone's ready to throw fucking Caleb Williams under the bus because everyone loves Jaden Daniels. And in terms of the rookie quarterbacks, everyone's like, uh-oh. Maybe Jaden Daniels is the fucking Peyton Manning, which would make goddamn Caleb Williams the Ryan Leaf. That's scary. I don't think it's that much, but I tell you, Caleb Williams has not played, in my opinion, as well as he should have. He is a rookie. But Jaden Daniels has completely outplayed him.
Oh, absolutely. And it's tough when you're a rookie and the wheels start to fall off the bus to be the guy who gets the team back on track, right? You're the youngest guy in the locker room. It's tough, especially when the guy whose job you took led a team to 4-2 to start just the exact same record as yours. Then he got benched. They're still winning, and now you're not. It's tough.
Yeah, there's problems. Now, a couple stories real quick. First of all, and they're both Cowboys. Micah Parsons said he really wanted to win a ring with the Cowboys. And he said, like for guys like Zach Martin, who is a longtime, offensive lineman, great player. He goes, for guys like Zach Martin, who have put in way much work than Mike McCarthy ever could put in.
Oh, shit.
So Micah Parsons fucking throws his goddamn coach under the fucking bus. Meanwhile, CeeDee Lamb, who dropped the ball in the end zone yesterday for the Cowboys, said the Cowboys need, he says he lost it because the sun was in his eyes and that the Cowboys stadium needs to be put curtains up to block the sun. What kind of fucking curtains are you going to put? What? Are you talking about a retractable dome? Curtains.
Did you hear how pissed Jerry Jones was about that?
Yeah. And then Jerry Jones is like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't do anything about the fucking sun, bro.
It's our stadium. You should know where the sun's going to be, was his exact words. Somebody's
There's been a hole in the fucking top of that stadium for 50 years, even when they got the new stadium. They didn't fix the hole. There's another hole in this one. So they've had that hole forever. You don't know where the sun is? The New York Yankees, right? You go to Yankee Stadium at 4 o'clock. Sun is always really, really, really hard for left fielders. It can get blinding sometimes. Left fielders know this. Everyone knows this who has played on the Yankees. So you fucking make adjustments. You understand that 4 p.m., that fucking sun's going to go right into the left fielder's eyes. You got to be careful. Like, what the fuck? Then don't throw it in that corner of the end zone. How about throwing it in the other corner of the end zone, you fucking geniuses?
Or get a fucking visor. Right? Like, that's what they're made for. I know they look cool, and when I played, we all lied to our doctors so we could get them and said we had prescription glasses just to look cool, but they actually block the sun. Get some of that eye black, and you'll be fine.
I agree. Now, that's a little football. What's the Monday night game tonight, Robert? Look that up for me, please.
Gotcha.
Because I forgot what it is. But that's your football roundup. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen with the Giants, but they need to make changes. The Cowboys need to make changes. The Jets are off the rails. They need to fire everyone as well. There's a lot of teams right now and I'll tell you what, this Bears team, after I had a lot of confidence in them, I thought Caleb Williams was going to play great football. I really thought he was going to be excellent. I thought the Bears would be good. Not better than the Lions. But when they were out to 4-2, I was like, this is what I expected, folks. And then ever since then, they look like shit.
Tonight we have the Rams are playing against the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Two teams trying to maybe squeak in with a wild card, maybe. Because, don't forget, last thing on the football there, Christian McCaffrey came back for the 49ers and the Niners won. So now they got Kittle back. They got Christian McCaffrey back. They got most of their guys back. They lost Ayuk for the year, but everyone else is back. So keep an eye on the San Francisco 49ers. But yeah, Rams win tonight. They're right in the race for the NFC West, which the winner of the NFC West might win that thing at 9-8 between the Cardinals, Rams, and fucking Niners. So let's see what happens. Now,
and I wouldn't count the Niners out if they've made it into the potential wild card without their stud. They may be the team not to sleep on.
If the Niners have everybody back, they're a great football team. I mean, come on. They have so much talent that, yeah, they should at least make a run at winning that division. Now, Hal Steinbrenner, baseball. Hal Steinbrenner has personally flown to California to talk to Juan Soto. Hal, I don't want you coming back without those fucking papers signed. You understand? Now, this is what Hal Steinbrenner needs to do. If Hal Steinbrenner can't get this done, by the way, I'm going to call him Kendall Roy from Succession. Now that I've finished my Sopranos rewatch, I'm doing a Succession rewatch. So plan on too many Succession references now, folks. Too many.
Should probably watch that show so I get some.
Well, the old man, Logan Roy, was very much George Steinbrenner, and Kendall Roy is very much Hal. Hal has the same kind of weakness, it feels, the softness of a Kendall at times. But this is all you got to do. Hal, you go over. So the thing is, Soto wants 13 years. I got no issue with that. 13 years, $600 million? Because we were initially told he was maybe going to get $700 million for 10 years, which would make it $70 million a season. The guy's 26. I know that 13 years seems like a long time. That'll put him towards the end of his at 39. He can retire a Yankee. And you'll have a prime-time, big-time player for at least 10 of those years. Now, this is an easy fucking thing. You got to fucking give him this money. But the Hal needs to do this. He's got to tell Scott Boras, that greedy fucking pig of an agent, who's going to fucking not only try to get every last penny, but then always take that offer and bump it up and, go to everyone else in baseball and say, the Yankees have just given us this. What are you going to go? What are you going to offer us? And that's why Scott Boras is an asshole. So if you're Hal Steinbrenner, you got to go, I will give you the 13 years, and you wanted $614 million. How does 650? 650 sound. But here's the deal. I want the fucking contract signed now.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on this plane back to New York without your fucking signature, Juan. And Scott Boras, you make this happen. You wanted 13 years for $615 million. I'm giving you the 13 years. I'm giving you $650 million. Sign the fucking papers. I don't want Hal Steinbrenner coming back on that plane without some fucking papers signed, because this happens all the time with the Yankees. Then fucking Scott Boras goes, hey, Dodgers, the Yankees have just offered us $650 million. Blah, 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 blah. Dodgers will go, oh, we'll offer you $690 million. And then Boras comes back, and that's what he's been doing forever. He asks for these insane contracts. You say okay, and then he goes, well, actually, give me a moment. I'll call you back. Because he gets on the phone and says, okay, this is what the Yankees offer you. Can you top it? So Hal just can't let that happen. You got to go to California. You got to tell fucking Scott Boras, I will give you an extra $25 million. I'll match your years, and I'll give you $25, $35 million extra. Call it a fucking signing bonus. Call it a gratuity bonus. We're grateful that you're coming back to the team. But that's what you have to do, Hal. If you fucking fail at this and Juan Soto goes to another team, that's it. I'm done.
Davey Philly fan.
I will become a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Hey, who's their star player? Who did he want to play for?
Bryce Harper, whose favorite player is Mickey Mantle. Despite the fact that he was born in the 90s, he loves the Yankees so much and Mickey Mantle so much, and all he wanted to do was be a Yankee. But they didn't offer him a contract when he was a free agent. You know, the guy's National League MVP. He's almost in the running every fucking year. Now,
absolutely.
The Yankees did make a big announcement. They brought somebody back. Not Juan Soto, Aaron Boone, the Yankee manager. I could foresee this. I knew that they weren't going to fire Boone. They got to a World Series. I knew he was coming back. So I'm not going too crazy about this. Look, Boone cost him game one. And he had some bad moments in the World Series for sure. He really did. At the end of the day, the Yankees were up 5-0 in game 5, and Aaron Judge dropped the goddamn fly ball. You can't blame Boone that the Yankees had basically 3 Bill Buckner plays in the same fucking inning.
Yeah.
3 fucking defensive mishaps that cost them the World Series, at least cost them game 5. But ultimately, since that was the clinching game, you could make an argument cost him the World Series.
And I got to say, I like this signing. I think Boone, other than a couple of game management decisions, he rallied the non-stars, which is what you kind of have to do as a manager. He took care of Volpe. He got him playing his best game to force it to game 5. He got the non-essentials. Like, if you're Aaron Judge, it's not Aaron Boone's job to get you ready to play. You're the Michael Jordan. It's his job to put the ball in your hands. So I think he kind of did his job.
You can't blame Boone for Aaron Judge making his first error all season long on the most basic play a center fielder can make. Just a easily catchable, shallow fly ball. I've really thought about that play. And he fucking dropped the ball because there was a guy on first. And he took his eye off the ball and looked at the base runner. Why? You're up 5-0. What, did you want to double him up or something? Who gives a shit what the guy on first base was doing as a base runner? Just catch the fucking baseball first and foremost, because the next ball, don't forget, was hit the Volpe. Inning-ending double play. Why was Judge even looking at the base runner rather than catching the fly ball? That was such a fucking choke job by Aaron Judge. It's simply inexcusable. Volpe's throw was in the dirt. Fucking the awful goddamn Rizzo, Garrett Cole thing. Look, it was shit, but there was miscommunication. And Cole was exhausted for having to get fucking 6 outs that inning. And so he's thinking Rizzo's going to take that. Rizzo needs to be more aggressive, needs to goddamn charge that ball. But at the same time, the worst play of that inning was the Aaron Judge dropped ball. And why was he looking at the base runner?
He said,
by the way, was only 5 feet off of first base.
He said it was sunny in the stadium and he lost the ball.
In a night game in the World Series.
They wants him to put some curtains up for him.
Now, Don Mattingly's son, Preston Mattingly, he's now the Phillies general manager. So the Phillies are getting everyone that I want on the Yankees. Because I didn't even know. I knew that one of Donnie's kids played minor league ball. But, and I think it was the same kid, Preston. But I didn't know this kid knew baseball this much to fucking. Wait, how come he. How awesome would that be if the Yankees had hired Preston Mattingly as general manager and Don Mattingly as manager? That would have fucking been insane. Why can't that happen? Because I'm not opposed. Now, it's not going to happen this year. There's not going to be a regime change. They're going to keep Cashman. We know they're bringing back Boone. But just like the Giants, I'm feeling regime change is very necessary.
He's 37 years old. So imagine he's the next Joe Torre or Don Matt. Like, he's that good. You could have had him for 30 years.
It's fucking crazy. And then they did. They had people go into the Reds Stadium yesterday, a couple days ago, to honor Pete Rose for 14 hours. Now that he's dead, we're going to finally give this guy all the flowers in the world.
I thought it was a little tasteless. They set up a underground casino in the stadium for people to participate.
Oh, come on. Now, basketball, I mean, there's no point of me living at this point because the Knicks now are fucking blowing it. They got blown out by the Pacers, and they dropped to 4-5, and I'm fucking nervous. I'm nervous as shit. I know it's only 9 games. They got a lot of pieces, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns. But I told you losing Hartenstein was a big deal. I'm not sure about their defense. And for whatever fucking reason, they can't guard 3-point shooting. The Celtics hit fucking 29 threes on them. And then yesterday, the Pacers hit like 20 threes on them. I don't know how this is possible, but if you can't guard 3-point shooting in the NBA in 2024, you're going to get run out of the gym, motherfuckers. That needs to be a priority, Tom Thibodeau.
Boy, who could have seen this coming? Dante DiVincenzo, the guy great at defending 3-point shooting, and then you said they have no inside presence. Who could have predicted that Cat would have been a bitch and they were going to miss DiVincenzo?
I can't say Karl Anthony Towns has been a bitch, but the chemistry, the team has not been a cohesive unit yet. We're not seeing, we're not seeing the fucking Knicks from last year that were exciting, that were fun. They got to fucking step it up here. I'm putting all my eggs in the goddamn Knicks basket. I know that's a huge mistake. The fucking team hasn't won the championship since 1973. I get it, but I've got zero hope for the Giants. And the Yankees are off. I fear they're going to lose Soto.
It's not too late to become a Rangers fan, Dave. You might have a shot at a sports win this year.
I have to root for the Devils, okay, because I live in Jersey. So, I mean, there's only one professional sports team in New Jersey, the New Jersey Devils. I have to root for them, so I do. But I'm not going to lie. I'm a playoff hockey guy.
Me too.
I'm sorry. I got to watch a lot of NBA, folks. I watch every fucking thing in the NFL. I watch a shitload of college football. Everyone lost, by the way, in college on Saturday.
Yeah.
Georgia lost. Fucking LSU lost. Alabama. Everybody lost. So college football is insanely unpredictable. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish are making the college fucking football playoffs this year. That's for sure.
I think, unfortunately, Penn State probably will as well, so we can embarrass ourselves in the first round like we do every year because we don't have a head coach who knows how to coach a game.
Now,
speaking of the NBA,
what?
I was going to ask you something about the NBA, but go ahead about Giannis.
No, yeah, Giannis and Embiid reportedly both want to be traded. Fucking Giannis, I guess he just doesn't like Lillard. I don't know what's going on. You have Giannis and Damian Lillard. You'd think just by those two guys, you could put up some wins. Giannis is not happy. And the report is he wants out of Milwaukee. And the other thing is Embiid wants out of Philly. Look, if I can get fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo or Joel Embiid, I'm doing it. And if that means taking Karl Anthony Towns, just turning it around and giving whoever the fuck wants him, I'm taking both Embiid And as long as Embiid's healthy, which I think he is, did you see that he got suspended for 3 games for shoving a Philadelphia reporter?
Yeah, absolutely. And normally I'm against interacting with the reporters that way, but the guy who was like, he says he plays to make his dead brother proud. Well, his dead brother wouldn't be very proud with how he's playing right now. It made me laugh a little bit. That Embiid was
he
like,
hasn't
"Fuck
even
you."
played.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, he's not being tough. It's crazy.
So, I mean, Embiid doesn't want to be in Philly anymore. I'll take him on the Knicks if he's healthy. Last year, the guy averaged 34 points and 12 rebounds a fucking game, okay? Come on now. As far as Giannis goes, 100%. I'm not against I'm not anti Karl Anthony Towns. I have still a lot of positivity and optimism. I'm just worried. But like I said, if they can get one of those two guys, then do that.
Plus, you got to think you're sabotaging whatever team you trade Cat to as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to help your stats.
Oh, come on.
He
now.
plays so poorly.
Please. I mean, he's averaging like 23 points a game. 24 points a game. Karl Anthony Towns is. It's not, he hasn't been a bust.
What did like Shaq average or Dwight Howard? That's who he bills himself as, but he doesn't play like that big of a presence.
You just named 2 entirely different centers. Shaq and Dwight Howard. You're right. Shaq, 28 to 30 a game. Correct. Dwight Howard, 18 to 20 a game? Like, I mean, Dwight Howard is the fucking scoring center that you might think he is, Robert.
Not even scoring, but just like the defensive presence. I don't think if you're driving the lane against the Knicks, you're not afraid of Karl Anthony Towns. He's going to either take a charge or get out of the way. Like, you need that defensive presence, especially the Knicks, who come from that long legacy. You got Patrick Ewing. They were the hard-nosed, don't come in the pain. Willis Reed, thank you. You were the Knicks fan.
It feels like you went through the long legacy, and then you only had Ewing. Am I right about that?
1,000,000%. Yeah. I'm not a big Knicks guy, but
yeah. But I mean, in all honesty, they've had like 2 good setters in their entire career. They had Willis Reed in the late 60s, early 70s, who got the job done. And yes, of course, Patrick, my favorite Knick of all time, Patrick Ewing. But they
Tyson Chandler.
They haven't had the real dominant center. I mean, there were times where Amari Stoudemire and different guys, Tyson. But yeah, they haven't had that dominant guy. I would take Embiid or Giannis in a heartbeat. I love both of those players.
Absolutely. Did you see Steph throw the pass to Clay, who wasn't on the court with him? That was going viral.
No, that's great.
So they have a highlight. He comes down and he throws the behind the back pass that he always threw to Clay in the corner, right out of bounds because nobody's standing there. And then you just see him put his hands up like real sad. It was very broke my heart, Dave.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
that's why I said Kevin Durant, all he had to do was stay in the goddamn Golden State Warriors organization, because it was only going to be a matter of time before Klay Thompson and his skill set started to lapse a little bit. And now the Warriors could be Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and a whole bunch of young guys, right?
Absolutely.
Like it would be the Steph Curry KD show. And he fucked his whole thing. Oh, by the way, Kevin Durant's out for 2 to 3 weeks, I believe, with the Phoenix Suns for an injury. So got to watch that as well. All right, look, that'll do it. Oh, final story in the NBA. Cavs are 11-0. I don't know how the fuck that's happening. I mean, I know Donovan Mitchell's excellent, but 11-0? Come on. All right.
I can tell you how it's happening. The Browns suck. The Indians suck. The people of Cleveland have one thing to throw their hopes on, and it's the Cavs.
The Cleveland Cavaliers. God bless them. All right, Robert. That's going to do it. Okay. We hope Roy is okay, and we wish him all the best, but he will be back next Monday, as will Robert and I. Robert, anything to plug, my friend?
Yes, November 23rd, I will be at the Laughing Stock Comedy Club in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, headlining. It's going to be a real fun show. It's me, Jeffrey Paul's hosting, Andre Muri's featuring, and we got MJ Murphy doing a guest spot. So come out so I don't kill myself.
Okay, I like that. All right. Well, we got nothing to plug over here. Davey Mac Sports Program. Make sure you're spreading the word and spreading the show and whatnot, etc. For Robert Tamburo, for Roy Harder next week when he returns, and for me, Davey Mac. Thank you all for listening and watching. Good night, everybody.